Do I need to zoom in more?
No.
I'm not talking to any of you at the front. I'm talking for the blind person in the back. But I do appreciate y'all answering me. Alright, so what are we going to do with the A's? Subtract them. So what's 7 minus 50? Does that go on top or bottom? Alright, what are we going to do with the B's? What's 9 minus 70? Top or bottom? What are we going to do with the C's? What's 12 minus 99? Top or bottom? Boom. That's all you had to do. No, once you flip them, you put them on bottom, and they're positive.
So on the numbers you divide and then on
Yes. The coefficients you divide, exponents you subtract, because we're learning about exponents, right? So what we write in our notes when we say flip it or subtract, that's for the exponents. These guys, you still just do the same thing that we've been doing. Do we need to do one more?
No.
Are you sure? All right. On your next homework problem where you had to multiply power to a power, what did you guys do? And you guys get e to the 50th power? Yay! Alright, we're going to do one more like this. We're going to call this b. And I'm going to say 4x to the 9th squared. Now, we haven't done one yet where we have a coefficient up front, right? So are we going to multiply 4 times 2, or are we going to square that 4?
We're squared.
We're going to square the 4. So what's 4 squared? 16. And then what are we going to do with the 9 and the 2? Multiply. And what's 9 times 2? That's all you do. That's it. Do you have any questions? Speak now. Are we sure? Okay. Ask them if they're a killer. Other thing. All right. Question. Okay, so what do we do when we raise a power to a power? Multiply the exponent. So make sure you have that written down over here. Yay. Are we ready for our next 2 things that we're going to learn today? Maybe? We are learning today, assuming that the computer works. I know that you guys never learn anything in here, but... Thanks. I didn't say you were lying. I said thank you. Okay. Alright, so please close your foldable completely. Alright, now grab the left side and open it this way. I don't know. I love it so much. Alright, so today we have 2 learning targets that we're going to cover. I want you to write, and we're going to put the date at the top. This is 2/6/17. These are our learning targets for today. The first one says, I can distribute a power. Super excited. The second one says, I, and leave some space, I can determine what to do with a 0 as an exponent. And then we have 2 little squares to fill out at the bottom, and then minion time. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay. Hello, how are you? Alright, so in this square right here on the left side, please write distribute a power. So what that looks like is if I had a 5 and a cubed b to the 6th c squared, all of that raised to the 5th power. Do you think we would only multiply one of these by 5? Would we multiply each of them by each other and then 5, or would we multiply each of these by 5? Each by 5. Now, with this 5 right here, would we multiply it by 5, or would we raise it to 5? Raise it to 5. So you do not write 5 to the 5th power. You have to tell me what 5 to the 5th power is, which is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And if you have a calculator, it is 5 and then the little caret button that looks like a top. 3,125. Awesome. All right. And what was 3 times 5?
15.
So it'd be a to the 15th power. What would b become?
30.
And what would c become?
10.
Look at us go. All right. So how should we explain what we did?
3, 5, and 3
You're whispering. Say it again.
multiply the exponents and raise the numbers.
All right, so multiply each exponent by the power outside, right? We don't just multiply them by each other. We multiply it by the power on the outside. And then raise the coefficient to the power. Bum, bum, bum. All right, what would 6 to the 10th power be? Read it to me.
68.
Okay, 6, 0, 4, 6, 6, 1, 7, 6. There we go.
So 60,466,176. If you ever get confused, write it down and put your commas. That's what I do. And I'm 30, so it's perfectly fine. All right, what would the exponent for x be? 20. Why? Yay! Give your team a point. If you said 20, what would the exponent for y be?
130.
It is not y30. We are not at bingo. How do we say that?
130.
There we go. Give your team a point. Yay, that's all you do, guys. All right, ready for the last rule? All right, it's called zero power. Not like you have 0 power. The power is, the exponent is 0. Alright, ready? So if I have 67 to the 0 power. No, it's 1. Give your team a point. Every time it's 1. If I wrote
11,278 to the 0 power.
If I wrote an Oreo, and we're going to pretend this is an Oreo.
It's the Halloween Oreo.
That is 1. Yes. That's why it's called 0 power. So anytime your exponent is 0, it's always 1. And we're going to write that over here. Anything in the whole world to the 0 power equals 1. So if I had a rainbow, and I said rainbow to the 0 power, what would that be?
1.
I would draw a puppy, but I can't draw a puppy. What about k? Ooh, what if I said k squared to the 0 power? What would that end up becoming?
1.
That would be 1, because 2 times 0 is
1.
0, and then anything to the 0 power is 1. Yay. Questions? Alright, when you multiply like bases, what do you do to the exponents? You add them. Alright, when you raise a power to a power, what do you do to the exponents? Multiply. When you have negative exponents, what do you do? Flip it. When you divide like bases, what do you do to the exponents? Subtract. When you distribute a power, what do you do? Yep. And 0 power always equals
1.
fantastic. Alright, so the last thing that we're going to do is, what have we not done as an exponent so far?
Subtract.
We've subtracted.
Unlike
We've had positive numbers as exponents. We've had negative numbers as exponents. We've had 0 as exponent. What have we not had? Fractions! Fantastic. Take a point. So, fractions as exponents. And I want you to please write underneath that, see page 41, because we're going to cover that tomorrow. We are going to write a baby example so that you know what it looks like. So if I said x to the 1/3 power, and I'll give you a minute to finish writing. Who thinks they know what we would do? It turns it into a radical. Who knows what a radical is?
Number n.
It's a square root sign. Take a point. So, a radical is a square root sign. What does that look like?
it's like a division sign with
With a mullet, right? Division sign with a mullet. So, like that. Now, where would that 3 go? No, Jeremiah.
Over.
Outside where?
there's a little B part.
It goes where?
It goes with
Right here?
No.
Up here?
Yes.
No.
No, it goes
Left.
in.
Here?
Yeah.
Yes, it goes right here. Take a point.
I said it goes in that little B part.
I know, take a point. So, where did the 1 go?
It disappears.
It disappears because it's understood, right? So, what if I said, take a point, what if I said a to the 2/5 power? The 2 goes outside where?
The B. Like, the 5 goes in.
Here?
No.
Here? No.
Not denominator always goes in
The 5 could go with it.
The denominator goes in the mullet, and the 2 would come out here. That's it. That's all you do. And we're going to cover that in more depth tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. Well, we'll continue then. Yay. Yes. Can we?
No, do we?
No. Have I given you a study guide?
No, but
Okay.
like the thing said test, so.
I didn't need to. I got to adjust it. Thank you for reminding me to do that. No, that was on my list to do this weekend, and I didn't. All right, so last thing. Please write remember. I'm going to tell you. It's like we still haven't figured out that I'm going to explain stuff to you guys.
That's crazy.
I know. I've never explained anything. All right, so if I said 2 squared, what is that going to equal? 4. Okay? If I said negative 2 squared in parentheses, what is that going to equal?
No, 4.
Positive 4. And if I said negative 2 with no parentheses, what is that going to equal? Negative 4. So that's when it's negative. Or if you have a cube. Yay! Are you ready for your minion?
Yes.
Okay. We do get to color the minion. I'm going to explain it to you before. Alright, so at the bottom, it says simplify. Your answer should only contain only positive exponents. So, who can tell me what we would do on number 1 with the 4 and the 5? Yes. Yes. And you would get 4 times 5 is? 20. Take a point. Alright, now what would we do with our m's? How?
Add.
Why?
Because
Yes, take a point for your team. So we're multiplying like bases. That means we add our exponents. What's 5 plus 3?
8.
Alright, now that n is to the 0 power. 1. Fantastic, take a point. So we don't write anything. It's just 20 times m to the 8th power. Is everybody with me? Are we sure? Now what we're going to do is we are going to look up here, and we're going to look for 20 times m to the 8th. Where do we see that? G. So everywhere we see a G, what are we going to color it?
Black.
Black. Look at us go. All right, ready to do number 2?
Can we do all of them?
Yeah, you have to do all of them, baby. No.
Do you trace the G?
No, you're going to like actually color it in. So I would take my black marker, and everywhere I see a G, I'm going to color it. Now, gray and black are 2 different things, so do not color the gray ones black. They're 2 different things. Does everybody understand? Alright, so for number 2, what would our coefficient be? What would we do with that 5 and the 2? Multiply them. Okay, what's 5 times 2?
10.
Okay, what would we do with the A's? Why? Because you're multiplying like bases, a to the 4th. And what would we do with the B? Alright, what letter does that look like? K. And so, what are we going to color K's? Look at us go. Does everybody understand what to do now? Okay, get started. Go team, go. You may listen to music.